Oh, the times they are a-changing.
We've been legally married since 2006, and a sense of acceptance is very important to us. I think the community thrives when there is acceptance of diversity and people benefit from learning.
I love living in a diverse community, and it's very important to me because it's not really fun when everyone is the same.
Diversity is what I thrive on. It would be a very dull life if everyone were just like me.
The diversity in the community is very important to us.
I think in our area you have mixed marriages, you have gay couples, you have people from all over the world.
If everybody's the same, where's the cool in that? I like the fact that I can meet somebody totally different from me and learn whatever their life is like.
Living in a diverse community is very important because that's what the world is. So diverse, and that's what Decatur's always been too.
To be in a diverse area or seeing a lot of people is really the creative fire that you need to have. That's where you get all your inspiration from.
It's important that our children learn to be in community with people who are not like them.
And living in a diverse community is very special because it teaches you how to interact on a global basis. Decatur is probably the best mix of meeting global people and enjoying all that they have to offer in a diverse situation.
Being around the different people is easy for you to meet people that kind of relates more to you, and you're kind of open to people who have different perspectives and different cultural or religious or spiritual upbringing, so you can just learn a lot from different people just by observing and just talking to them.
I got a job working in Sandy Springs, moved my family down here from Cleveland, Ohio.
I currently reside in East Atlanta.
I've lived in Atlanta 46 years, and the last 10 have been in Decatur.
Well, we've lived in Decatur for about 8 years now.
9 years.
9 years.
We've lived in the general area 3 years, and then we moved into city of Decatur proper about a year ago.
Moved from Sacramento, California.
As we're originally New Yorkers.
I actually don't live in the area, I just work in the area. I work for Fresh Order.
I've been working or living in Decatur since 1985.
As I moved from East Cobb 4 years ago, and I've lived in Decatur since.
Well, we moved to Decatur probably about almost 4 years ago, although we do live in the Oakhurst neighborhood, so...
I've actually lived here in Atlanta, one of the few, the proud, the native Atlantan. With me, I've got my Great Danish friends. Again, they're from Denmark visiting. This is my man, Christian Luke and Jules. Why don't you guys say hello?
Hello!
When you know people, you see the same shop owners every day, you go to the restaurants, you know the service staff, you know the bartenders, you know everyone here. It's hard-pressed to go through it and feel like a stranger in this city.
We came here because we just love the downtown area and how it makes everybody feel welcome and comfortable, and we love the walking ability of the city.
Yes, and the sense of community here, it's fabulous.
We love the schools and the walkability to the downtown Decatur area.
I would say what we like most is all the community activities, all the organized activities.
I think I love the fact that we come down here and we meet new people and we have a lot of things in common. It feels like a family.
Very welcoming area, welcoming to all people. And these days we need something welcoming to all people.
As I moved from East Cobb 4 years ago, and I've lived in Decatur since, it's a wonderful experience and a great place to raise a child.
This is a really positive area. All the people are really friendly to you. You know, obviously working out here, people speak to me all the time. They say thank you for what you're doing. You know, we appreciate what you're doing, even though they don't have to.
We love the entire city. The city in general is a wonderful place to live.
Yeah. I love Decatur.
I do consider Decatur to be a fantastically welcoming city, and I've never felt more at home than I have living in Decatur.
The sense of community and sort of the civic pride that people have here, and all of the different festivals and things that happen in the city are really a reflection of just how involved people are, just how in touch with the community, you know, the government is here, and the commission and the different arms of the government. So, you know, I think that all has to come together and work quite well in order to have the city that we have. So we're very pleased with it.
You can really feel when you come to Decatur that there is a special friendliness here. People seem really relaxed in a great but intelligent kind of way.
I can step out of the door of my condo and eat in the best restaurants in the city of Atlanta.
We spend most of our time in the parks and walking.
They have a lot of festivals and events, book festivals, beach party, it's a great place.
And there's always somebody playing music, or I met this cool dude who does martial arts every weekend, and he just practices all his martial arts in the middle of the square. It's really, really dope.
The whole vibe that you get here, I was actually trying to compare it to some places back in Denmark. You know, Copenhagen is a very, very romantic city, and it seems like this area of Decatur, you get the same thing.
You end up living outside of your home. You interact with people. You see people when you walk your dog. You interact with people when you come out and shop and eat at restaurants. And if you ever get bored, you always have something to do and always have somebody to talk to.
We spend a lot of time on the square here, eating at the different restaurants or just kind of hanging out, sometimes coming to the festivals and so forth. We go to church right down here in downtown Decatur, and we'll go on dates down here, we'll meet friends out.
You have the library, you have the recreational center, you have the dance and the gymnastics, the doctors, and you have the stores. I like going in the park area where they have the little garden and everything and stuff where you can just sit and you see the butterflies and the different birds come. It's just real easy to take a woosah moment.
I'm a single woman, I live in my condo, I walk everywhere at night. There are always people on the street in Decatur. You can never go wrong living in a space where there are people on the street all the time. And you'll never see Decatur without people.
It's one of the few towns that I've ever lived in where I think women are comfortable walking around at 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night on the way home from a restaurant. We always see the police downtown, especially Shirley the cop, our favorite policeman in town, and she just makes us all feel welcome and safe.
I think we're very safe here. I'd have no problems walking my dog at 10:30 at night by myself. I would have absolutely no problems with that.
You can bike around here with being really safe, actually.
Our children are teenagers, young teenagers, and we feel very safe having them out and about. They come down to the square on a regular basis. They walk to and from school every day. That's one of the reasons we're here.
You know, it's an in-town neighborhood, but it's very open, very inviting. It's a safe area, great to allow your kids to hang out and kind of roam around. So we do enjoy it from that perspective as well.
I find my church to be when I'm hiking through the woods. That's where I feel closest to God. I tend to be more of a Buddhist.
There's a lot of churches in this community. They're very non-judgmental. It's not like old-fashioned anymore. It feels like everyone can come to it feeling comfortable.
The word church to me is a place for worship. It's a place for community. It's a place for me to be closer with not only the Lord, but the people who are Christians and have that ability to share with one another our love for God, our love for one another, and this community too.
We are surrounded by churches. I love that. There's a church on practically every corner. I worship, but I don't attend.
Kevin and I got to know each other there. We both participated in the divorce care support group
at
the Methodist Church.
Mother's Day. It was the last time we went to church, and it was right here at the United Methodist Church.
I think collectively, the last time we went to church was never?
Long time ago.
I think they tend to be the cornerstone of the community also, that everything else is sort of built upon.
The last time we went to church was a very long time ago.
It's been a little while.
We are very humanistic in our thoughts.
When I hear the word church, I think about home. If I want to cry, I can cry at church. If I want to laugh, I can laugh at church. If I want to do something, I love church. Church is home.
It was mandatory. They really needed me Sunday, so I haven't been in about a year and a half. But of course, I catch a Bible study.
I'm active in our church. Last Sunday, I was in church and Sunday school. It's an intentional community of folks. They might meet in a building, they may not.
Both my wife and I were, kind of grew up in families that spent a lot of time in church, and so I'd say we have a fairly traditional view of that. We were in church last weekend. We're not every weekend folks, but we're getting better about it.
Voices runs Decatur!
So Decatur's got some great hills, great for training, helps us to be able to improve our pace, work harder.
Decatur's got some beautiful little neighborhoods. I used to live in the Oakhurst neighborhood. It makes me come to Decatur. I come to the diner. I come to J. Christopher's.
I come to Decatur for the food.
For the food.
Diversity is very important. Yes. Inclusion is very important, and Decatur really represents. I've participated in the farmers market, and also the library down the street has had some book fairs, and so that's really been great.
Absolutely.
And also taking advantage of the Decatur library. We've had meetings there, so they're very welcoming here.
I participated in the garden that's over there by Agnes Scott, a really, really great little personal garden where you can grow your own stuff and kind of be part of the community. You want to know who you're around, you want to feel connected, you want to feel safe in your community. It's a great, great city. Great city.
What comes to my mind when I think of church? I think of community, I think of faith-based community, fellowship, friendship, camaraderie, a place that you can go that is safe and that you can receive spiritual guidance. So I went to church last Sunday, and I'm an active Christian, so I always go to church on Sundays, and that's just part of my spiritual vitamin. Running as well as having spirituality is extremely important. That brings balance to my life.
How do you say I love Decatur, or Decatur's great in Danish?
Jeg elsker Decatur.
Would you like to add anything in Danish?
Decatur et skønt sted.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.